is the Simpit. I'm your host Shaun Cole, and welcome to today's Hump Day edition of the Pit Stop, where you, the pit crew, you are the real star of today's show. Today, who knows how today's show is going to go. I've been off the air for quite some time. I thank you all for allowing me a vacation. An incredible vacation. I got to get out and really have some good fun. And believe it or not, I came back more tired than I left, which usually vacations, you're supposed to rest, relax, and come back stronger. I might have, in fact, come back weaker. Who knows? Anyway, we are trying to get everything back up and running again. We've been on live on Twitch for about 20 minutes, having some fun over there. And we are here for the Pit Stop and today's show. And I'm seeing a little glitchy action going on, a little too much glitchy for me. Hopefully everything is working out. Anyway, I hope you all have had a great week. It's been a little over a week, actually, and hopefully you're able to find some sim racing news without me, or more importantly, have people to be able to talk about, because that's what we're talk about the news with, and I think that's the reason we are all here. It's not just to have the news, but it's be able to kind of lend our own thoughts, opinions, sarcasm, jokes, whatever you want to call it, about various topics. I noticed I didn't put up my thumbnail even today. Rare form. Today's show is going to be a little interesting. We cannot have to do push-ups. We're far too tired for that, Tim. But I'm going to apologize in advance. You would think I had a week to study up on the stories, but it was actually literally a week to come back to do a lot of cleanup work, and I'm running late on today's show. My browser crashed. I had to bring up all my windows, so nothing's even in order today. Who knows how it's going to go? It could get ugly. So the big news in my world, because I missed the ADAC Sim Racing Expo, and I saw videos all over the place from various different broadcasters are there. All the companies were doing their own thing. I think maybe Friday ADAC might be a topic that I want to bring up when talking with Billy. So maybe we'll leave that alone today in terms of just my thoughts as an observer from here of what was going on and my perceptions of it. So we'll have to tune in Friday to get those thoughts. But Sim Racing Expo is certainly a big thing that went on over the week. And with that, you had virtually every esport competition firing at some level with various different winners of this, that, and the other thing. And I'll cover a couple of those today. I'm going to miss a couple. I do apologize. And we'll get everything back to normal here over the next week. And just a heads up warning, I feel so guilty. I am actually taking another vacation. I'm going to be gone from the 18th to the 24th, and that it will be another entire week off the air. I'm taking an actual vacation. I'm going to have 6 days at a beach house down at the beach towards San Diego, and then one bucket list day that I don't even know if I want to tell people what I'm doing, because it would be like too braggadocious, to be honest with you. So anyway, let's get at Popeye Arms. Let's get to the news. The big news for me is iRacing season 4 build. Now, they do, 4 builds a year, I believe? 4 builds a year. Pretty significant. Some are bigger than others. This particular build is going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one in that it is going to probably create... Just wait till the forums light up when this happens tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day. Brag away. Brag away. Maybe I'll brag after the fact, Alex. I got it. What happened? Where's my stream? My stream ended. What? Is it back? Video output low? What's up with that? Are we live? I don't even know if we're live again. Are we back? Wow. I got a big red light on YouTube. Hey, I warned you. Now, I thought it was going to be a train wreck for completely different reasons. Looks like I'm going to be calling Time Warner today. What the F is going on? Is this me or is it them? Do I have to do a quick speed test? Do we have to do a quick speed test? Are we even... Man, where is my internet? Find out real quick if this is on me or on them. Now, I'm chewing up a lot of bandwidth right now. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, I got some shoddy internet right now. Alright, I'm seeing a really grainy version. John Hill, you are live on the Simpit.
Shaun, you are on. I cannot see the chat. And there's some kind of delay because you... Okay, yeah, there is a delay.
Well, there's always a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, but you're on. Just no chat.
Okay. No.
All right, I just want to let you know. I'll let you get back to it.
Copy that. Thank you, John.
All right, man.
John Hill, everybody. Always got my back. All right. Well, I'm going to continue on. You love the Simpit. Upload is what matters for the stream. Yeah, Devin. That is true. All right. Let's do another speed test here. I'm not sure if I need to restart everything. I'm going to let that speed test run. Okay. Actually, now it's jumping up much better. Nowhere near what I'm supposed to be getting. But I am using a lot of bandwidth right now. Actually, it just completely stalled and dropped. It's super intermittent. Uploaded is half of what it's supposed to be right now. But I'm wondering if that's also because I'm uploading to 2 places. All right, you guys, I'm sorry about this. The story of my life lately, it seems. Yeah, but we've done the dual stream without trouble. I'll have to do another check after the fact. All right, back to iRacing, back to the build. The build has been delayed till tomorrow. It was scheduled for today. Tuesday is usually the update day, and it didn't happen, and that's basically because yesterday or Monday was a holiday. So that gave them one more day with everyone back at work to button it up and polish it up and put a bow on it, put it out. So with that, iRacing is doing the build tomorrow. And the reason I'm talking about this one and saying it's a big deal, look, my tabs aren't even working. Oh, wow. So it might be a YouTube thing. It might be a big internet hit. I can't even change my tabs, which is going to make today's show very difficult to do here, you guys. It's going to bring me to tears. Do you guys want to see me have a total breakdown? What is preventing this from working? Is something else happening? Sorry, guys. I don't... bear with me. I'm throwing every trick I got at it. Well, yes, I need to restart everything got dirt. The only problem with that is it takes me it takes me quite a while to go through all my tabs to get to all of the stories that we're going to talk about. I do that about an hour before the show. I have completely lost my browser ability to do anything. Michael Clark, I noticed you made a donation before the show went live, $2 for Bone for Max. Thank you very much, Michael Clark. All right. Since today's show has changed, the show must go on. So I think what I want to do here is I actually want to talk about, we'll go ahead and talk about ADAC. And I'll give you my thoughts on that from afar. Saw a lot of videos of things going on and what all was there. And I thought it didn't look like it grew so much. So it was, its 6th year, and each year got bigger, significantly bigger. And then this year it seems like it took up a little more square footage. Michael Clark again. Michael Clark, thank you so much. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated. That part of the show seems to be working, amazingly enough. I'll keep checking on my browser. Our browser's hosed. So here's the problem. How weird is that, Michael? Yeah, I might have to turn everything in this room off and then back on. I will not be able to restart the show. So here are my thoughts, though. The ADAC, Simracing Expo. It seemed to me like it really has become an on-site esport venue. Like there were a handful of different competitions went on. That is awesome. But Porsche, Heiko. But it seems like there were fewer vendors, not more. It seems like there was just a limit on the expo part and more focus and energy on the esport part. Now, I believe the growth in the esport side is well-deserved and should go on, but for it to truly be an expo, I need to see it grow on the vendor list, on the new product announcements. Like this, if this is going to really take off, this should be an event where some of these companies are saving up certain products to say, here's our big announcement of this product, and not just showing you something that's going to come out in a week. Fanatic says they're days or weeks away from the Fanatic software being done. They should have had that done for the show and released it at the show. This needs to be, like, think of it on the scale of like a Comic-Con or on the scale of an E3. Well, Simracing has proven that they have no place at E3. Like, it's just getting smaller and smaller and less. So, okay, Simracing Challenge, I'll do my best. Actually, this will help that. I used to do this, and then I stopped doing it for some reason. But I need more product announcements. I need more demonstrations. So I know iRacing was showing off Catalunya and the Audi. But those were cars that are coming out in a matter of days. There was like no real news. It wasn't being used as a big media opportunity. I'd like to see more companies. It seemed to me like if I had gone to it, the biggest advantage of having gone would have been able to meet Amir, to meet Mitchie, to meet a handful of different people from the sim racing world, versus it really being all that entertaining. Now, I could be wrong. I could be mistaken. I mean, I've just been going to shows, demonstrations, things like this for years, and I just thought, wow, this sort of looks like it grew in one direction and shrank in another direction. And if I went there as a spectator, I want to be able to see and test more gear. Anyway, that was just kind of my thoughts on ADAC. I was underwhelmed. I've been planning for years a way to get out to this thing, but at the same time, it would take a tremendous expense of time and energy and money and resources to do it. And it's like, wow, what would I really get at it? Yeah, Dan, I mean, and that's the thing. Maybe we do. Maybe I don't know if it's going to work, because to be a real expo, you need enough booths of companies. My browser might be back in action. The show goes on. You'll go with me, Invader? Anyway, those are my thoughts on ADAC, and maybe it's time I shut up because I now have. So this is a huge build out of iRacing. Season 4 update 2019 is going to be a game changer no matter what. Now, for the good, for the bad, we don't know. Again, keep your eyes on Reddit, keep your eyes on the forum, keep your eyes on comments on videos of this update. And so why? 5 new cars, as they put it. Now, you could say, okay, so the Audi RS3 LMS, we've seen video of that. The NASCAR Xfinity, Chevy Camaro, Ford Mustang, and Toyota Supra, so it's like the new updated bodies. Lucas Oil Off-Road Pro 2 Lite, which is going to be a free truck. And the Kia Optima is now going to be a free car as well, which is great because we need more free cars to be able to do fun events where, you know, oh, now my mouse is dead? Oh no. Oh no. Everything's going wrong, you guys. This is just a cluster F. Is everything right? Is everything still working? You wouldn't believe what's going on over here as I try to do this show and watch everything just glitch out everywhere. This computer is not happy today. Anyway, Kia Optima Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya is now out. Fairbury Speedway. That's the new dirt track for the trucks, if I'm not mistaken, right? Friends list for the beta interface, consolidated and updated block and blacklist, blah, blah. The V7, and this is why it's going to be a big deal. The V7 tires have been added to a select set of vehicles. We'll get to that in a minute. Beta test. The new damage model is going to be on the Skippy. I'm going to stop reading the list because solar flare effect, crash sounds, flagman, new animations, French spotter pack, German spotter pack, Italian spotter pack, Portuguese spotter pack, Spanish spotter pack. So they now have multi-language spotters, which is awesome. That's awesome for a truly international sim. Updates to the beta interface. Forgive me, things aren't moving smoothly over here again. And the big one, so the V7 tires. So this is really important. The following vehicles now utilize the V7 tire model, and this is where you're going to see things light up on the forum. The Aston Martin DBR9 GT1, the Audi RS3, the new one, Chevy Corvette C6R GT1, the Dallara F3, the NASCAR K&N Pro Chevrolet Impala. Oh, wow, that's the only oval car getting it. And then the Skip Barber Formula 2000. And I think in lieu of this, instead of doing a dirt series for our next Simpit series, I think now it's going to become a Skip Barber series. With the new damage model, running the new V7 tires, I think that is what we might need to be running instead of the trucks, which we've had mixed turnout on. So, anyway, all sorts of fun, Bill. This is a big update. It's going to be significant in a lot of different ways. Updates to just about every aspect of the sim if you read through the release notes. So this is coming out tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning we will be able to test out that new damage model on the Skippy. We'll be able to test out the new tire model on that select group of cars. And we'll be able to hear our spotters in 5 different foreign languages. Foreign to me. Maybe it's your language. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's working. All right. Huge congratulations to Thrustmaster driver Khaki Simracing on his sensational win in the Assetto Corsa SRO eSport event, this being one of the events. And if you went to their Twitter page, oops, sorry to bump the mic. They have some video of some of the action that went on in what they had. And again, this year's Sim Expo was really kind of taken over by the esport competition aspect. And then as a viewer, if you went, Amir, I know you went. How many of you went to the Sim Expo? And did you watch the racing? And was it entertaining? We pay money to go to the track. We pay money to go watch you know, the NASCAR guys, the Formula One guys, the IndyCar guys. We pay money to go fill those stands and watch the race. If you went to the ADAC Sim Expo and you watched the SRO eSport, were you entertained? Are you not entertained? All right. R-Factor 2, they showed off what is coming. And that being their version of Nurburgring and the Porsche GT. Oh, nothing's working, you guys. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Not my fault. Well, my responsibility, not my fault. It won't even refresh the page. Anyway, you'll find that video at the R-Factor 2 page. That also came out while I was away and part of the Simracing Expo. Excuse me. Jeez Louise, what's going on here? If we get through this, it's going to be a miracle. Project Cars, just 2 chances remaining to qualify for the Logitech G Challenge in North America. Obviously, I haven't got my way in, but this is 2 more shots at a good leaderboard competition just to see where you stack against the rest of the world. So you think you're a badass? You think you're a badass at Project Cars 2? Go show them, and then show me an image, and I'll show everybody how much of a badass you are. Qualifier 7, Qualifier 8 will be a great leaderboard challenge just to know how you stack up. September 8th is for Qualifier 7th, and the 22nd, the deadline for number 8. Cut myself some slack. Well, RG, we don't have to pay yet. We're just being asked to fill the seats. So, are you entertained? Now, maybe in 10 years, we might have to pay a fee. But actually, at this point, it is still a free event. But with that said, does it captivate you? Is it, you know, and this is when we talk about the bubble burst of the esports scene, the amount of money out there, return on investment from the people involved in it. These are the little factors that you got to keep an eye on in order to, you know, judge those things for the future. Is it entertaining? Maybe it will only work. You know, you look at the esport going on, like the difference in different esport. You look at iRacing, where it's strictly an online competition. You watch it online. You can't go see it in person. And then you look at the in-person competitions, like the F1 2019, for example. It requires a different audience. Does it affect it? Are you entertained? That's my question. Yeah, Max was jealous, and he took it out on my computer. Totally. There's no risk of any Pornhub on this computer. I'm just saying. This is my work computer, people. Codemaster is showing off and talking about Dirt Rally 2.0 World Championship to launch September 2019. So it is upon us. New car in the game, free for everybody. That being the, what, is that an M2? That looks like a BMW M2. That's my guess. Anyway, and new competitions, new rallies, all that kind of stuff coming on from Dirt Rally 2.0 as they transition into their real-life eSport championship as well. I'm okay with ads in the corners. The picture would never pay for watching sim racing. Yeah, but Max is getting busy with the internet cord. Max, stop humping the modem. All right, what else? Moving right along. Like I said, I'm a little behind on my stories. And then we get the cluster F that is whatever is going on with my computer or internet and or both. Grid has another new video, work in progress, on the unpredictable action in Grid. So, see, you could come around a corner and a la true life to real life racing, all of a sudden, there's somebody backing up right in your path. That's probably not a good spot to back up. Hey, Danny Hood, how you doing, buddy? Pro Sim, yes. We're gonna talk about that in just a moment. Gladiator, thank you, RG. Good movie pickup on that reference. It's just a hump day. There you go. So there you go. More grid. Are you excited? Cody's with the blog talking about the same thing we just talked about, the BMW M2 competition, patch notes for version 1.8, and their new schedule. Again, that's a free car. I do know I read that somewhere. And I was like, oh, you know what? M2. I've heard, someone tell me I'm wrong on this one. I've heard that the BMW M2 is like literally one of the best driving cars there is. Like the M3 is bigger and more badass, but I have heard the M2 is a better driving experience than even the mighty M3, and that this is like, I mean, forget Ferraris and all those low slung cars that you actually can't drive to work, that this is like the car of cars if you were realistically looking for a performance car that you can drive to work every day. That's what I've been told. I don't know if that's true or not. It seems like it could be. What I've heard is it has a much better balance of weight to horsepower than the M3, making it a better driving car. But maybe some of you know. Maybe you've actually driven those cars. I'd love to know. That's one of the reasons I love this community, is that, you know, some people know the answer to these questions that I don't, and then I get the answers, or somebody has a different type of question. Why call it hump day? Exactly. Thor, that's not. Thor that brings up the point that he's been entertained watching Lando Norris and Max Verstappen battle it out on iRacing, or Lando's Twitch page. And that's relevant because what is it? Running the show here, I'm trying to figure out the recipe for entertainment, the recipe of what people really do want to watch, what engages the audience. When I watched, John Hill in the audience here, we went and watched the Visa Vegas race in person, and they packed a good crowd, and it wasn't sim racers. This was the CES, Consumer Electronics Show crowd. Really filled that place. It was standing room only, and it was not the best show in the world, funny enough, but their presentation was quite overwhelming. I think F1 2019 does that, but it depends on where they're doing those venues. If you just pop it up. Like, I didn't get a chance because I was away. What went on with the Gran Turismo New York event? Was it a big deal? Did a lot of people show up? Were they entertained? Or is the answer more intimate, more private, like the Lando Norris Max Verstappen rivalry being put on the internet from their various channels and perspectives? Is that the formula? And maybe esport is off the mark. Maybe esport does only work for Fortnite. I don't know. These are the things I ponder. This is the stuff we talk about on this show, and I think that as a contrasting concept for entertaining people, you look at the Lando Norris Max Verstappen and compare that to something like the SRO esport event that was done at Sim Expo. Anyway, no, very, very good point. Oh yeah, remember they were doing those F1 esport qualifying events, those scenarios that you had to play out? I did the first one, and I posted something. I dabbled in the second one, but I don't think I posted anything. I think it's time to get back to F1 2019. So their qualifying event number 3, another one of these leaderboard. Where do you stand in the world? You don't want to know how close you are to the talents of like a Brendan Lay or the guys who've all been drafted into this year's F1 2019 esport world. This is the best way to find out. So that's another game right now. You have 2 different games where you can put in a pretty good run and find out where you stand against the world, going after the biggest prizes in all of sim racing. Not just a normal leaderboard, but a top level leaderboard, in my opinion. It's true, Alex. So many real-life drivers are now part of sim racing, and a growing number by the day. The holdouts, the guys, some of the old guys don't like it so much, but we are seeing so many pro racers. Let's face it, if you're into go-karting and you're 12 and your dad's paying for and taking you to all these races, well, you're 12, you're a gamer. but you're also a racer. Otherwise, you wouldn't be out there doing it. So now you combine those two, and all of these people are growing up on sim racing and real life racing simultaneously. And the articles, funny enough, when you read the articles from the sim racing perspective, they act like this is what spawned the real life career, and they leave out the fact that he'd been racing since he was 12, right? We talked about that in like the Igor Fraga story, I believe, where they kind of implied that, he went from sim racing to real life. It's like, no, he'd been real life racing plenty on the side. And anyway, that is the interesting side to these new gen, though, where they really do it all. Another congratulations, Adam Pinsis. Adam was on the show way back when I did an interview with the Avid Chronic Racing guys. Anyway, he racked up the big win at the Raceroom event at the Raceroom Cafe Nurburgring. That's a permanent installation there. And congratulations to Adam. Here he is with his trophy in front of the Cupra. And there's the final time attack result with him taking the top spot. Florian Haas in second. Tim Jarschel in third. Yaroslav Honzik. That guy's name. Yaroslav is getting his name in on everything right now. It seems like he might be one of the better drive any sim racers out there. That's pretty awesome, Vil Mucker. Okay, what else? Forza talking about some changes to their racing championship that's returning in 2019. So more news on that. I'm not going to dwell too much on it. And then they had a promo video talking about it as well. Some Forza content definitely worth tuning in for. So their big invitational challenge. Remember, it was going to be teams this year, I believe, instead of individual drivers for the Forza Racing Championship. Another big esport event going on. All right. We finally have something. Sorry, I keep tapping the desk. Is it better? Is it better now that I put a pad under the mic, but I have a tendency to tap away? So, yeah, good point, John. It was probably that exposure, which they have another round coming. So, GTR3 from Simbin. What's this? We actually have photos. Look at this. There's the end of the Audi Sport, Audi R8. We got a picture here of the tail end of a GT3 RS Porsche. We got a beautiful, that Bentley Slut Continental. Another picture of the Porsche, I believe. Yep, there it is. Porsche. And the Bentley Slut Continental. I say slut because this car is like literally in every game now, isn't it? Anyway, beautiful car. There's a reason it is in every sim. But that's all we get. We have 5 pictures coming off Simbin, are in discussion with various partners. They said they're wrapping that up at that previous games thing. On their new multi-platform motorsport titled GTR3. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to be honest, and in some cases I'm wrong. In some cases I'm wrong, let's face it. But now when I hear multi-platform, it scares the bejesus out of me. We used to hope multi-platform meant cross-play at a higher level. And the reason it scares the bejesus out of me is because multi-platform now officially just straight up to me means the dumbification of your game. And no matter what you do, if you're going to make my PC game work on one of the others, Chris Phillips, thank you so much, buddy. Thank you very much, Chris. Keeping the wheels turning at the Simpit. Turning slowly today, I might add, but we are turning. But multi-platform just means straight up the dumbification. And one of our stories later today is going to maybe reconfirm that thinking. All right. Fanatic. Finally. So Barry, you guys all know Barry Rollins, Sim Racing Garage. Huge fan of Barry Rollins. The guy is awesome. Anyway, he did a review of the Fanatic Podium using the new software. So he got a copy of the beta version of the software in order to review his podium. Apparently, in a post by Fanatic, the new software is going to be available, in their words, in days or weeks, not months. So that means that, A, if you want to see Barry's take apart, I don't know if he literally took it apart. You want to see Barry take apart a podium, you can do that. And it also means that I will be able to finish my review of the podium finally, which I'm thrilled about. And for anybody who's bought one, you definitely get to get that software as well. Yeah, it's a lower common denominator. Exactly, Bill. It just, yeah. Yeah, it's the reason you don't hear the term highest common. You're right. There's no such thing, is there? We only go to the lowest common denominator. That's a mathematical fact. So, all right. But that doesn't make me happy. Doesn't make me happy that Simbin, and I'm sure I've read or seen that before. It just kind of stuck out to me today. And it's like, as we all get excited for it, really, is it just going to be hit with the Achilles heel of a sim, which is carrying the Xbox and the PlayStation? So true, Dan. So true. Cloud-based. Yep. Well, I mean, I'm not so sure that the PC world won't continue on its own. We might get more severed from the consoles again at some point where we always were. But you do have enough people in it that would keep it going. I don't fear that, to be honest with you. I actually, at this point, I'm almost hoping and praying for it. Differentiate between the two at some point. All right. What was this one? McLaren Shadow. Why did I show this? Oh, the pressure's on and the stakes are high. Maybe you couldn't win your way in an R Factor 2 because, that's a cutthroat world. But you want in. Real Racing 3. It's time. Calling all mobile gamers. Real Racing 3 qualifiers are now open for the McLaren Shadow competition. Can you imagine getting in on this one? We damn well know we wouldn't be able to defend that when we got up against the big boys. But if you want in on the action, you'd have an outside shot at the win. Get in on Real Racing. You could be doing it with this at work and qualifying your way into the McLaren Shadow. I mean, don't tell me that we all can't win at that level. Who knows? F1 Esport driver lineups have been announced. So the official full lineup. So after the draft where teams like Ferrari didn't pick all their drivers, there's still some spots in the lineup for various teams. Now we do have the full list of drivers for this year's F1 Esport. I don't think I'm going to kill everybody by saying all these names. Alfa Romeo having 3 drivers. 3 drivers for everybody. Ferrari Driver Academy. Haas F1 Esport, McLaren Shadow, Mercedes, AMG with Brendan Lay, Daniel Shields, and Patrick Crutchage. I'm sorry, Patrick. I murdered your name. That's why I wasn't going to do that myself. Sport Pisa Racing Point, F1 Esport team. Red Bull Racing, Renault Sport, Scuderia Toro Rosso, and Williams Esport. So there you go. All the driver lineups, 3 drivers per team for the season are now fully declared. Excuse me. Paul Stoker, well played. Oh yeah. Good luck winning against those monks, the masters of tablet racing. I can't even remember what that was, but well played, buddy. Rubens Barrichello and Montoya invest in Esport Company. Check it out. So here they come. They all want in. So they've invested in Millennial Esports, the company behind the world's fastest gamer, and honestly a couple other. Aren't they that Real Racing or whatever? It's not just behind millennial esports is becoming pretty much the dominance in the esports scene for sim racing, at least. But anyway, Montoya and Barrichello are in. F2, okay. I guess before I even go on, I guess I should, send my best to the Antoine. I'm sorry, I'm messing up his name. Hubert, who was the F2 driver that was killed in a crash. So, and I'm sorry to bring that up, but this article brings up something very different. And what are your thoughts on this? Is it right? Is it wrong? F2 driver's death poses a dilemma for the F1 video game. So F1 2019 was due for a full Formula 2 roster update very soon, which would have included a driver who tragically passed away in a crash a little over a week ago now. So the question is, what do you do? If you're in charge of F1 2019 and you have a big update coming, do you put him in? Do you put him in with maybe some kind of a tribute logo? Do you erase it as though it didn't happen? Do you hold out? I don't know if that team has named a replacement driver, but, and let's look at it from a real racing perspective. I don't know the story behind this. I was away. I heard about it. Is that team... The team's going to continue on. I mean, that's racing. I mean, I hate to keep it that simple, but that's racing. Do you put in the replacement driver? Anyway, what would you do? What's your call? A lot of you are chiming in with keep him in, leave him in, tribute. I think that's what I would do if I was in charge. I think I would leave it in, and maybe I would put some sort of a tribute logo. Maybe I'm assuming, in most cases like this, the family probably, anybody who wanted to send condolence gifts of any kind were probably asked to donate to a certain cause, perhaps something along those lines if there's some cause that he worked with. But yeah, Brad, I think that's the final answer right there. Inquire with the family to find out how they feel about it. Yeah, and Theodore, that's the thing, though. In racing, the show goes on. The season's going to go on. The team needs to field another car. Whether they are there for the next race or not, I don't know. But I'm assuming that will be the answer over time at some point. This is a tough thing about racing. It's just a rare moment where it actually does affect a sim racing title. I mean, I guess it could happen if you had some series, when you have your like the Blancpain series, for example, where you have the licensed cars and tracks and drivers. That scenario could come up again. In the case of an iRacing where things are a little more generic, they might have the Indy car, but it's not specific to any particular driver. So you wouldn't have that. NASCAR Heat definitely could have this sort of a scenario. This could come up again in the future. I think this one's a little different because of the age of the driver and because of the way the content was coming into the game even. Anyway, I don't want to take... I really... It was hard to touch upon this without it having a somber feel. But I did really like the article and the question that it brings. I think we all seem to be in agreement that, and I don't know if anybody at Codemasters is listening, but I think it would be really cool to do a tribute car, leave him in, acknowledge him, not sweep it under the rug and act like it didn't happen. Maybe even go one step further and give him a little extra card in the game, as a tribute. I don't know. I don't think anything you did in that direction would be perceived as wrong or bad. Quite the opposite. Congratulations to Lionheart Racing Series for partnering with the OpenWheels.com 500-mile race. So just more of them being credited as being one of the premier racing series in all of iRacing. And I wish I was still competing in that series. It was just too much of a time commitment because of just how good it is. But congratulations on them on that affiliation. Michelle Labate, I'm not sure if I said that right. This is Next Level Racing's newest ambassador. I saw a different ambassador, somebody else being, so this is going on. Real life drivers now getting sponsorship with various different real life drivers, because we are seeing that cross promotion more and more, and that's where we ride the coattails of the automotive industry as our esport world grows. Billy and I talk about that all of the time. But anyway, she's now working. She's an SCCA Trans Am Series driver. And yeah, so she now is affiliated with Next Level Racing. Congratulations to everybody there. Now, Wreckfest. So there's a hot fix release yesterday. Another hot fix. This is the second hot fix to the big release. So I played a little of Wreckfest. Not a lot, a little of Wreckfest. And I have to tell you, lowest common denominator. I'm so upset with what I think they've done to Wreckfest. Wreckfest. I have put Wreckfest on a pedestal, and I talk about Wreckfest. This indie type game, not a huge development team, not even focused on being a full-blown sim. Yet it has some of the most drivable force feedback physics that you're going to get. And I have loved and praised Wreckfest for all it is. So the big build, to me, so far, seems like it was the big kick in the balls to the PC crowd who played and loved and helped build their franchise to an extent. I mean, they get credit for building the game. We're just their community. But I just feel like I do the update and I'm driving it and I'm like, this is not the same game. It feels like they dumbed down what was this incredibly great game. Now, some of the new cars are awesome. Some of the new tracks are awesome. But I just feel like we've now taken Wreckfest to the lowest common denominator, and it really kind of upsets me. I haven't driven Hotfix 2. I drove this 2 days ago, not yesterday. Maybe it fixed. I don't even look at the release notes. I'm kind of a little upset. Now, others have driven it. Others have driven it more than me. What are your thoughts? Am I right? Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong on this. Tell me I just need to give it more time. It feels different. But I just kind of felt like it lost some of that incredible feeling. Oh, it's okay again? So Hotfix 2 might have cured that, Heiko? I hope that's the case, because I love me some Wreckfest. All right, what else to talk about today? But that was my thoughts when I was reading that lowest common denominator. My thoughts on GTR 3. It was kind of with this fresh on my brain. Okay. Is that right, Dan? Beam MG, that's the drifting game, or one of the drifting games, isn't it? I think. Okay, Zappa. All right, so maybe we're going to be doing some Wreckfest later. I don't know. We'll find out. Humble Bumble, somebody sent this in. Thank you, Thawman, for sending this in. Just letting you know a few things on sale right now. PCars 2 Deluxe Edition for $22.49, for example. Dirt Rally 2.0, $39.99. They're calling that half off. Oh, Deluxe Edition. Yep. F1 2019, 30% off, $41.99. Dirt Rally 2.0, $29.99. The Crew 2, wow, 75% off, makes it Gold Edition. Competizione is 10% off. That's about the cheapest I think I've seen that. So anyway, good deals over at Humble Bundle in the sim racing market. Millennial Esports, once again, another pole position for Millennial Esports another scary word in the world of sim racing. Exclusive Porsche and Nintendo partnership. I read a portion of the article because of how much the word exclusive, especially when you're talking Porsche. Can you imagine if the Porsche license went exclusive again? I would just be so upset. I might have to hold Porsche responsible for being jerks about it if that was the case. But anyway, Millennial Esports involving themselves. This is the group behind World's Fastest Gamer, and a lot of the esport things that we're seeing out there is now partnering with. So what's to come? Porsche, Nintendo, Millennial Esport, Gear Club. That's what we've got. Gear Club coming. So we could be seeing a new esport edition of Gear Club. If Millennial Esport is involved, that's the point. This could be Gear Club esport edition. They're the new whore. Porsche the whore. The whore of Simracing. You whore. The game of lovely hate relationships. Hey, Lionheart. Congratulations on your guys' new affiliation with OpenWheels.com. Very cool. Very cool. All right, what else? It is week 13 in iRacing, so that is why we're waiting on the new build for tomorrow. So one of the official series. So if you're still trying to scavenge some points to license up in the off season, they've got a list of their official series. This is at the iRacing.com week 13 is here story in their news. I'm guessing Nintendo switched Theodore based on the fact that it was Porsche, Nintendo, and Millennial Esport. It could be Nintendo doing something for the phone, but I would guess it's going to be, on one of their platforms. And then they have the unofficial, and the reason I'm pointing this one out is because as of tomorrow, this is what we're going to be able to do. 13th week Battle of the Little Wings, which includes the Skippy with the other little winged cars. And that changes the Skippy car only after the build to showcase the new damage model. So that's where we will be able to test the Skippy's damage model against others. Will be on the Little Wings week 13 competition going on iRacing. The other thing is if you're into the oval side of things, the 13th week NASCAR National Series is going to have the V7 tire model over there. So that's going to be another place you can actually test out the new stuff on week 13 prior to the new season starting up next Monday. All right, a couple more things to show you guys before we call it a day. Coming up on an hour on a rather bizarre show. Welcome back, everybody. I just want to thank you. If you're out there watching right now, thank you so much. Sorry I was away for a long time. It was a much-needed vacation. Had so much fun. And I have another vacation coming up, just to give you all a heads up. From the 18th to the 24th, I'll be gone for another week. Just living it up over here, I guess. It's been many years since I've just taken some real time off for myself when I wasn't taking off to go work a trade show or something. So much needed rest for me at a good time. So anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the show. And GT Planet talking about the WRC8 iconic car trailer kicks off early access. So if you bought it early access, I believe began yesterday or today. You could be driving it. And here's a list of the cars available in that early access. And it's the legendary and bonus cars. And then they have the iconic cars trailer, if I got all this story right, from them. So this is posted at GT Planet. You can check that out. Or go to WRC8 media channels. You can probably find it all out there. Also, arriving tomorrow. So tomorrow is becoming a pretty big day in sim racing. Tomorrow being the iRacing Season 4 build and GT Sports next update, which there was a little teaser. So they're expecting the Ferrari Continental? Is that the Ferrari? Where did I read that? The Daytona, not Continental. That's a Ferrari Daytona, right? And then this car over there, which is really the Ferrari Daytona, and something else is coming. So they had these spy photos. That's a Daytona. We all know and love that car. And then this, Tim Chitwood. What's that green beast in the background? Looks like some kind of a Dodge product to me. Thank you, Alex. Thank you very much. Yeah, Bill, I remember talking about that they pulled it from Steam and switching it to Epic. I did notice that. Invader Sim. Time gets absorbed into the rig. You don't even notice it's gone. I know, time goes too fast. Time goes way too fast, you guys. Super Bee? Is that a Super Bee? Did they make a Super Bee without a tail? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can I zoom in more? It won't let me zoom in more. No. See that green car? Super Bee's a good guess. Anyway, that's part of the story of what's coming to GT Sport. Did I have something else there that I missed? Just the update was coming. Okay. Little video here of the eSport WTCR Oscaro 2019 trailer for Raceroom. I think they're just keeping some news out there. But the cool thing is this is being aired at the WTCR, the real life FIA WTCR page. So this video is playing with a countdown to the next race and everything. So that's very good for the sim racing world in general. What else? NASCAR Heat had a trailer. Let's play that sucker again. So this NASCAR Heat, earmuffs. Yeah, it definitely looks like Mopar green. Coronet, that's a good guess. That's definitely a good guess. Super Bee, CUDA. Looks a little flat to be a CUDA. CUDA's always sort of a little bit more control scroll to slow it down. Is that what you're talking about? Anyway, earmuffs. NASCAR Heat 4 launch trailer. So just a little more teaser out of them. 12 million subscribers for NASCAR Heat 4. 12 million. Anyway, NASCAR Heat 4. We'll see. We'll see. News will tell. WRC8 FIA World Rally Championship. Planned release date September 2020. Why do I have this up? Yep, there it is. There it is. Indy Day now. All right. MSI wins the 24 Hours of Circuit de Barcelona in an iRacing event that went on. Congratulations to those guys. What else? Oh, there we go. Check these pedals out. GT3 Pro crankset, they're calling them, by Brazilians from CMC Evolution. Look at these pedals, you guys. These are some cool looking pedals. Anyway, this is from, again, CMC Evolution out of Brazil. I'm testing the Extreme Sim Racing wheel stand. I call it a mini rig from a Brazilian, well, Extreme Sim Racing is a Brazilian company as well. So Brazil really starting to make their name known in the hardware market. All right, what else? Oh my God, I have so many stories left. All right, just a couple little VR rigs. Look at how minimalistic, again, wheel stands. I'm reviewing another wheel stand, and I was like, you know, as a hardcore sim racing channel, who wants another wheel stand? But you know what? With the world of VR, I think we're really starting to become a wheel stand world again. Day looks more like a year. I missed something there, Cranky. I'm sorry. What else? That's the same link. Okay. Check out this P1X triple monitor stand from GT Omega with the P1 rig. Cool lighting. Giving you guys just a little more motivation for your rigs. Interesting here from Nintendo Life, talking about 90s Super GP is still alive and will now include online play. What? One game we feel like we've been waiting a lifetime for is 90s Super GP, the arcade-style game formerly known as 90s Arcade Racer. Started as a Kickstarter campaign, it was originally targeted as a Wii U release in 2017. We received confirmation from Nicholas the game would instead be power sliding onto the Nintendo Switch at some point in the near future. So anyway, we're getting this cool, totally arcadey 90s era game that's going to be on the little Nintendo Switchy thing. Kind of cool. There you go. What else? Wreckfest again. Major update. The major update should have happened before the patch 2. So we've got a major update if you haven't. Then you've got patch 1, then you got patch 2, and now we're starting to hopefully get back to normal. We're going to try that again. UK sales charts. Wreckfest can't catch up with Astral Chain to claim number 1. So looking at the UK, for the week ending August 31st, Wreckfest was actually the number 2 best-selling game. Well done by the Wreckfest crew in promoting that and getting some decent sales. All right. Now, maybe he's going to change his tune. Today, Jacob is counting on you. This was sent in and it made me laugh based on today's story. Make Wreckfest great again. Bring back the physics used before the August 27th update. So, here is a whole petition. He has 43 people who've signed on. I have not signed on, and now I'm glad to hear that there is an update. So, before I decide whether I will sign it, just so you know, it's change.org. P. Bugbear Entertainment, make Wreckfest great again. Bring back the physics. Anyway, if you would like to get involved, if you already have your verdict, maybe you want to get on that, but it certainly made me laugh. And then finally, give credit where credit is due. You guys, I've so wanted to run the Assetto Corsa Simracing systems for that we run with the Simpit and Pro Sim Racing. Shaun Seabrand, if you're here, thank you once again for keeping that season going and participating and streaming it. I've been trying to make the races, but I keep having shifter problems. I'm going to give it another go this week. We'll see if we have any better luck. I might have to uninstall and reinstall the game. That might be a good starting point. But anyway, last week's race at Monza, Luis Henrique put it on the pole for the beginning of the race. But in the end, it was Michael Fazal who went on to win, finishing in P1. And looking back through the grid, Caden Russell finishing in second, Tyler Jason Javeli finishing in third. You will find a whole video from Shaun Seabrand's perspective. So if you go to Pro Sim Racing, you'll see how the Simpit crew did at Monza in the very difficult to drive F1 GTR. And looking at the points right now, James Leader is in the lead, with 263 points over Steve Walker and Luis Henrique Caetano in third place. And this week, tomorrow night, they'll be heading to Goodwood Circuit. You will definitely be able to find that at Pro Sim Racing. He'll be streaming. With a little luck, I'll be streaming Goodwood Circuit. I don't know if I've ever raced at Goodwood Circuit. I have some extra work to do. Anyway, that is going to do it for today's show. Thank you for your patience, you guys. I know today was a whacked out show between internet, between my browser failure, between me being a little out of sorts and off the air for over a week. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making it so much fun to talk about sim racing and have great thoughts and opinions on tribute cars and patches and physics and all these things. I mean, it really makes this show so much better that you guys are so involved. And I think that's why this show, the Pit Stop in particular, continues to get better. I will be on live on Twitch. Still trying to figure out what we're doing with that Twitch show. So if you want to chime in, help me form what we're going to do with Twitch and how we're going to use that channel differently than YouTube. Be sure to join us there, Shaun Cole _in the pit. And we are going to be live there for a while longer as we continue trying to bring you the best sim racing entertainment, news, reviews, all that good stuff from the Sim Pit. Thank you. Happy Hump Day. Get out there, do some sim racing, have some fun, and send me results. Send me shots of your rig. Let me know what your story is so I can tell it to everybody else out there. That's going to do it for today. This is the Sim Pit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track.